If you're a busy professional man at your heaviest and most unhealthiest version of yourself and you're tired of starting over every single Monday, this video is for you. I used to be overweight, tired of this ongoing cycle of losing and gaining the same weight despite working my ass off in the gym. So in this video, I'll share the 3 biggest lessons that helped me lose the 60 pounds and kept it off for 13 years, and what you should do so you can finally stop yo-yo dieting and become the most healthiest version of yourself. I was able to lose the 60 pounds because I was hiring a fitness coach who was helping me, because I've been trying several fitness coaches that was not helping for me because I had no knowledge in regards to what macros, maintenance calories are, calorie deficit or weight training. So I learned a lot about macros. For example, I needed to have a 45% of daily calories coming from protein. Fat loss is easier if you have a high protein diet because you're also burning a lot of fat and keeping the muscles, and more muscle mass helps you lose weight even faster and recovering faster from the workouts, and also having sustainable energy levels was easy if I had 40% of my daily calories coming from carbs. And then I was able to focusing on the right way to working out in the gym, where I was working out 5 times in the gym with focusing on progressive overload. That especially means that you are stacking on weight every single time that you are performing a set, and you are working out very intensely, where you are having 10 to 12 reps, 1 to 2 reps before failure, which means that you are not able to push even further, and you are having 60 seconds of rest, because the higher the rest is, like the more intensity it is, the more you are burning calories, and the more intense you are building more muscle. It's easier. You don't need to work out as long. I'm going out 30, 35, 40 minutes max, and then I'm also having compound movements where I am targeting a lot of muscle groups when I'm working out. For example, when I'm working out my chest area, I'm working out the upper part of the chest where I'm using split machine incline press, and then I'm also targeting the triceps, because if you are working out with compound movements, you are using a lot of energy to break down these muscle tissues. And then I'm having 3 compound movements, and then I have 2 isolation movements. That, for example, be the different areas of your chest, where it could be flies for the upper part of the chest, flies for the lower part of the chest, and then I'm working out my tricep with tricep push downs for one head of the triceps, and then row push down for the other part of the triceps, and then for example, the last part of the triceps, that is like bench press for dips. So, and I'm also using cardio machines where I'm having a cross trainer 20 minutes 4 times a week, and that helps me burn a lot of fat. For example, if you're using a cross trainer where you are trying to lose weight, it's easier if there's some resistance with this cardio machine. And then that is like the first part of the way that I'm structuring my workout plan. And I'm also having 6,000 steps every single day, and also a calorie deficit or 300 calorie deficit, because no matter how healthy you're eating, you're not going to lose weight. The most important way to lose weight is following a calorie deficit diet. So just by the calorie deficit diet, you're losing 1 pound. If you want to lose even faster, you are expanding even more calories with cardio and also the steps. So a combination of that is like 2 pounds every single week. Sometimes it fluctuates, because no matter how much you are working out, it fluctuates, because sometimes the scale is just showing that you are maybe not gaining, you're losing so much weight because you're building more muscle. So sometimes you're only losing a pound, and then you're building like 200, 300 grams of lean muscle mass. So this way is the best way to lose weight, in my opinion, like long-term sustainably. And then after 2 weeks, you are hitting weight loss plateaus. Maybe it could be after 1 week, and then you just adjust your, for example, steps with 2,000 steps more. You are subtracting your calories with 200 calories more, and then maybe 1 cardio session more. So if you're just following this every single week or every other week, you are adjusting your calories and your steps and your cardio, you're going to lose weight even faster. And that was what I was doing. And the most important thing is that I'm going to share with you as number 2. But before I do that, I want to know, what is your biggest takeaway from the video so far? Just comment below and let me know. The next habit is, and the next lesson is, you are most likely wanting to eat foods that you really enjoy. And I used to, for example, when I was making my meal plans, I had 2 meal plans. The first meal plan was just having, for example, the first meal of the day was right after I've been working out, because I'm working out fast with intermittent fasting. I'm fasting 16 hours a day, and then I am, for example, having an eating window of 8 hours, because I usually don't like to eat when I'm waking up in the morning, like 7 a.m. I'm drinking a liter of water and 4 or 5 liters of water throughout the day, because if you're in a calorie deficit, you're automatically feeling hunger, but you can reduce the hunger by eating like the same calories, but you are filling your stomach with more water. And that is going to help you a lot, because if you are someone who really struggle with the cravings and also the hunger levels, water is very beneficial and also clears up your skin to look more healthy and confident. If you are working as a busy professional man at an office and you want to appear more confident when you are talking with clients and doing presentations. And then I am also working out like right afterwards, like 8 a.m. And then I have my first meal that could be 60 grams of whey protein, 400 grams of skimmed milk, and a protein bar, maybe 2 protein bar, because after you've been working out, I'm still following the same workout plan and the same meal plan, because it's just easier for me to just switch up my meal plan sometimes if I am just getting sick of the same foods, but I really enjoy what I'm eating. So the first meal after I've been working out, you've been breaking down all these muscle tissues, and you are needing protein to build the muscle tissues right after, with minimum 30 grams of protein and minimum 40 grams of high quality carb sources, because if you have been breaking down the muscle tissues and depleting your glycogen stores, you need the right amount of carbs, fast digestible carbs, to get fast into your system, and slow digestible carbs for you to have a lot of energy, long-term sustainable energy throughout the day, so you don't feel sluggish and your energy levels are plummeting down in the afternoon. And like 3 hours later, I'm having like minimum 30 grams of protein in all my meals, and also 40 grams of carbs. So that could be like sweet potato jams, and it could be like a steak, and then like 200 grams of mixed salad. That's just very easy to have. And then the last meal of the almost last meals of the day, that could be like 4 hours later. It could be pasta bolognese, very easy, and I have lean ground beef in that. That could be 200 grams of lean ground beef, and also 4 eggs on the side, and 200 grams of whole wheat pasta. So the way I'm usually structuring my meals is just eating foods that I really enjoy, but still being able to hit my macros, because in the end of the day, if you're really trying to lose weight in a sustainable way and keep it off, for example, I kept it off for 13 years because I really enjoy what I'm eating. And in order to learn more about how to structure your meal plans, is you are subscribing to something that's called My Fitness Pal subscription, premium subscription, where you are able to put in your daily calories to be in a calorie deficit, and also you can adjust the calories and also the amount of grams of pasta, for example. So if you are hitting weight loss plateaus and you need to adjust 200 calories more, so instead of 200 grams of pasta, you are, for example, removing like 50 grams of pasta, almost like 200 calories, and that can be very helpful for you because you don't need to think so much. You have a system already where you can just subtract that, and that makes it very easy for me. And sometimes when I'm also having a day where I am wanting to eat something that is other besides of my meal plan, for example, if I know that I'm on weight loss and I, for example, have a mini cut where I don't need to necessarily lose a lot of weight, what I'm doing is that I'm like on a 8-week weight loss mini cut, and I am, for example, been doing very great with following my nutrition and diet plan for 2 weeks, and then I know that I really need this free meal, because free meal is something that can help you spark your metabolism. Also something that's called refeed meal, where your metabolism the first couple of weeks is very good, but it slowly decreases because your metabolism just decreases when you're in a calorie deficit. So in order to spark your metabolism even more, you need a high amount of carbs. I usually put 700 or 800 calories coming directly from carbs, because carbs is essential for you to spike up your metabolism even faster. So the next couple of days you can see that you are losing even more fat. For example, your pants is fitting better, you are getting more veins that is popping from your skin underneath your skin, and you are looking more refreshed and you're sleeping better. So that's a sign that you are feeling hunger, because that's just a way that's your body signals that you are losing even more weight. So by having a weekly free meal can definitely help you with enjoying foods that usually is not on your meal plan, because there's also give you a break. Sometimes if you are on this weight loss diets or just diet in general, it needs to be something that you can stick to. And also if you sometimes feel that you don't have, for example, the amount of food for the last meal, and you may be on vacation, so instead of just having 400 calories from like lean chicken breast, I'm just buying 2 protein bars, because like 200 grams of protein, that could be like 40 grams. So instead I just want to have 2 protein bars. There's like 20 grams per pound per protein bar. So it's more about flexible dieting, where you are still hitting your daily calories, but you're also having like some flexibility where you can indulge in food that usually is not on that meal plan. So it makes it easier for you to go on holidays, and you don't feel like you are in like, this is only the foods that I need to eat to lose weight and stay lean. But there's also some variation where you can be more flexible. Sometimes if your family just say to you that if you don't want to go out and eat with them like on a weekday, you're just preparing for that. So maybe you are getting 9% of your daily calories come from protein. You are getting like 70% of them in the beginning of the day, and you're eating veggies, and you are saving all your calories and carbs. Maybe you have 2,000 calories to be in a calorie deficit. You're eating 500 calories in the beginning of the day, and then you allocate 1,500 calories at the late of the day, and you still make sure that you have 70% of your daily calories come from protein covered. And then the last meal, that you're just eating a lot of great food for 1,500 calories. And even if you think that you are sometimes above your maintenance calories or your calorie, you are maybe just shooting above your like onto your maintenance calories, because if you are working out, you are going at least 10,000 steps and doing cardio, you are still creating a calorie deficit. So even though you are eating more than 1,500 calories, the amount of calories that you've been burning and the amount of calories you are from calorie deficit to maintenance, that still is large enough for you not to gain weight, because you are still creating this calorie deficit. So you have a lot of buffer. So I really hope that you found this valuable so far, because this is what I've been doing to lose weight and keep it off. The third lesson that I want to share with you is that when I used to try to lose the 60 pounds, I was working a full-time job, and that was very exhausting. I was working in a fish factory with my father, and that was something that I really enjoyed, because it's very demanding job physically. And so when I was waking up like 6 a.m., I needed to go to the work, and I needed to do some monotonous work where I was doing sometimes the same things, but sometimes also changing. But it was very physical, because you had to handle frozen fish, and it was cold sometimes. We still have jackets on, and we also have to like slice the fish. And it was something that really taught me a lot of lessons, that no matter your circumstances and how much time you are working, for example, sometimes working 40 hours a week, and how physically demanding was, I needed to work out 4-5 times in the gym and doing my cardio and also my steps on top of working out this physical job. And I sometimes felt like I was very exhausted, so I took measurements in like responsibility in my own hands. I was eating my meal and nutrition plan, because I needed to fuel my body to be able to work, and also having energy after work to be able to work out and push myself. And I know that was a lot tedious in the beginning, because I was exhausted, I wanted to sleep. I slept like 30 minutes after work, and I was going to the gym, and I didn't lose a lot of things. What I was trying to do was prioritizing my time. You don't need to watch 2 hours of Netflix because it's just taking you away from going to the gym and putting in the work. So it's more about prioritizations, and you don't need to say yes to go out and eat every single day, especially if you are very serious about this weight loss journey. I used to be someone who had to be very strict in the beginning because I needed to build some habits that could help me maintain. So saying no to a lot of temptations is saying yes to yourself in the future, and that is something that I've been trying to implement right now, because I know that time is something that is valuable if you are able to prioritize in the way so you can make time. It's not about not having time, it's about making time. And also, what is the most important for you right now? If you're at your heaviest weight as a busy professional man and you are feeling stuck, frustrated, what you see in the mirror and pictures, feeling very strong with that you want to get the most confident version of yourself, it should be a prioritizations. And sometimes it can be very lonely just being on this weight loss journey, and I know that for a fact that I needed some help and support, because when I was doing this on my own, I didn't feel like I had someone I could talk with. When you're trying to be on this weight loss journey as going through and going to the end, you need someone who's been through the same shit as you, because it can tell you what is going on and what you can learn from. And I fucked up a lot when I was trying to lose weight, and that was just something that I could learn from. No one's going to force you in the way that you are losing weight as fast as possible. Sometimes it takes longer and it's okay, but it's just about my prioritizations. When I was 8 months losing weight, I spent like 6 months trying to lose weight in the beginning, and then I had to take like 2 months off because I saw that when I was losing like 20 kilos, I saw that I was still very slim, but I wanted to build more muscles. So I went on a muscle building phase where I was building like a lot of muscle, then again on to fat loss phase again, because the more muscle mass you have, the faster you're looking, the more confident and more muscle and beautiful you're looking. And so it's more like taking progress and seeing like on the way how it looks for you. And I know that if you really want to keep the weight off, all these small habits going to compound over time. And right now I have been losing a lot of weight and I've maintained it, and the reason why is because I just really enjoy this lifestyle. In the end of the day, if you are on the other side of the weight loss journey, remember that while you're starting. And I always remember that the reason why I'm not getting back to my old shitty habits is because I am feeling more healthy and more confident, especially if you're someone who feels that the amount of energy that you're getting by following your nutrition plan is not about motivation and also about the workout plan. It's more like a habit. So the more you internalize things and it becomes a habit and you are making time into your schedule, it's easier for you to follow this. For example, I don't usually think about like procrastinating in regards to working out. I've mapped it out into my calendar, and then before I am going to work out, the day after, I pack my workout clothes, and that's just feeling that that's something that I just need to do, and it makes it easier for me not to procrastinate. I'm also following meal plans that I really enjoy. So just by following these small changes, I'm sure that you're going to keep off the weight. And also, it's not about working out and dieting, it's also about the mental state. I was journeying a lot and reflecting on the kind of person that I want to become in the future, because when I was trying to work out and focusing on trying to have this new body and new confident person, I wanted to understand like what is holding me back right now. I had a lot of limiting belief that I was overweight, I was not able to do this on my own, but I tried to reflect and talk with my coach and myself, like what is stopping me, and is that I don't have the right knowledge. And what is stopping me, I used to be so overweight, but if I'm seeing other people, maybe they can also change their view and of how they are in the future. So I also wanted to have a future avatar that was like a motivation, like an idol that can help me. So I was mapping out this confident person for myself, like who is this person, who's someone who's, for example, a combination of the Great Gatsby, Wolf of Wall Street, like Jordan Belfort, who's confident, looking good in suits, and like a total awesome person who has a lot of energy and just very calm most of the time, and being able to, for example, be someone who has a lot of energy for other people, can motivate them and lead their purpose. And that is something I really aspire to. So I was just trying to learn all these small traits, how to talk more eloquently, and also how to be someone who can structure my days. Because if you are trying to, as a busy professional man, trying to structure your days, you need to understand how you specifically do that and also prioritize what you really want. So I tried to learn more about, for example, tonality and how to speak with people, because it was something I had to study. I was not able to do that. So all these things were able to me for getting more presentations and deliver it in a more confident way. Because if you are a professional man and want to deliver speeches in front of 500 people, maybe, you need to be able to be very confident and study the shit out of the topic that you really want to deliver, but also how you're presenting yourself. Getting a lean, tall, muscular body definitely helped with me, for example, being able to talk to you guys and just being able to present my topics very confidently. So if you want to lose the weight and become the most healthiest version of yourself for good, just like you saw with me in my client transformation beginning of the video, there's a link in the description and also in the comment section where you can apply for coaching with me, and we'll see if you and I are fit to work together. I look forward to talk with you. Bye.